All right.
What was your question? Sorry.
Oh, my question that I have for this group is there such thing as a feminine man and a masculine man?
I would say yes. Masculine man would be like your everyday man, like your norm of a man. Like you got a man working out, wife and kids, all that. You got a feminine man. He does. He has a man. I mean, he is a man, but he just doesn't do the things a man would. He like paints his nails, maybe puts on a little skirt, little dress, or maybe acts a little like he acts like a girl. You know, like my uncle, like him.
What about a man who would like perceive as they take care of themselves? Because a majority of men who are feminine are they're more likely to take care of themselves or take care of other people.
I wouldn't see you taking care of yourself as a feminine thing. I think that's just good hygiene and stuff.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself. You know, you clean your nails, file them, you put on certain things, make you smell better. That's good. You don't want to walk around smelling like a complete butt.
Yeah, that's a big misperception these days. That like I know a lot of my friends at school be getting like clear nail polish. Like it's that's them grooming themselves. They're like I've never seen them, as he would say, wear a skirt or walk feminine or talk feminine. It's just an accessory that actually girls like. So, I mean, it's really whatever you're into, but it definitely is a thing, such a thing as a feminine man and a feminine woman. There's masculine women and obviously feminine women. You know, it's just who you are as a person and what you do makes you. Like you could be a feminine man and be straight, or you could be a masculine man and be gay.
Would, for example, if you were to see a man, let's say, considering, oh,
That question?
oh yeah,
Are you done with that question?
yeah, go ahead,
I want to answer.
go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. I feel like femininity definitely has a hold on attention to detail. So I would say stuff like, yes, painting your nails can be a little feminine just because it's such a okay, so I'm going to say that again. I said, I feel like femininity, see, the word is difficult. I feel like femininity definitely has a hold on, like, attention to detail. So I feel like painting your nails definitely is a feminine thing just because it's a self-care act. You're putting work into yourself for an extended period of time to make sure that everything is perfect and looks nice. That qualitative aesthetic attention to detail is definitely feminine. But I don't think that wearing a skirt would necessarily be feminine, because wearing a skirt, yes, it is fashion, but I feel like men definitely need to put a foot more into fashion. Besides like streetwear, like that's just artistry or whatever. But I feel like what makes a man feminine would be more like an attention or an emphasis or connection to the emotional side of things. And yes, making sure that everybody's like emotionally okay and making sure that everyone is, you know, emotionally, mentally, kind of spiritually okay. And what would make like, I don't know, like a woman masculine would be like taking charge and providing, stuff like that. Like I definitely do feel like there is a masculine aspect to like providing or yeah, providing for your family or your loved ones.
Can I respond real quick? I don't think taking time and effort into something is considered feminine. I think putting your time into something is making sure it like comes out the way you want it, make it look good. Like me, I like taking my time on a lot of things just so it comes out good, so I don't have to do it again. So I wouldn't consider taking your time and effort to make something look pretty and nice feminine. I think that's more just normal than anything.
Yeah, no, effort is definitely not feminine, but I feel like a focus on aesthetics and qualitative nature of like whatever you're doing is the feminine aspect, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. I believe it depends on how that person idolizes how they view themselves. I know some men that do paint their nails. For example, my older brother. He likes to paint his nails any color he wants: purple, green, red, boy and girl colors. But I feel like it's the way that he wears it. My brother doesn't identify as anything. He also doesn't have a sexual orientation. So he kind of just, when he wears it, some days he'll feel masculine wearing it, or it's just like a normal colored day he wants to wear. Or sometimes, like when he goes for cheerleading and he performs on shows, he'll wear it more femininely, as in like, how can I say this? He has like a more glitter attitude, if you understand what I'm saying. It's more broad and it's actually showing. It's like, here, I'm putting on a show for you with my hands, rather than, let's say you see an average color or maybe just a cool little design, maybe green with stars, and it's like, no, I just have this because this is how I feel today.
Yeah.
Do you think that colors represent a person's gender? Like certain colors is for certain genders?
Definitely not. I think colors are just a perception of light, really.
I was just asking because you said that your brother puts on boy colors and girl colors.
Depending on how that person perceives what's boy colors and what's girl colors. Usually the normal people would think blue is for boys, pink is for girls. However, pink is a natural color that you can wear anything. Do you see in video games that they have a male character as pink? Some people would see it as feminine or girly, or this character is a female. However, when the gender is revealed, it gives them a wait, what second? So I don't believe color should be identified. I don't think it should be connected to gender. It's just light with shade, really.
Yeah. And I hate to say it, like, not really a hot take, but I feel like a really important part of this doc is that we're not existing in a vacuum. Like, we're not talking about necessarily just stuff in a objective way. Like, there's always going to be a bias because we're human. So I do feel like colors definitely have a gender, like, attached to them, just because after so many years, like, yes, when I see blue, I definitely think of a masculine thing, but there are shades of blue that look feminine. Or, right, like, yes, it is definitely just a spectrum of light, but I feel like certain colors have certain associations with them. So most definitely putting a pink color, like, on a traditionally man's, like, hand, that would be seen as, like, a juxtaposition rather than, I wouldn't even say rather than blue, because I definitely feel like, again, we're not talking about just in a vacuum. Like, there is definitely a performance aspect, tag the Barbie movie, to being a woman. And so, yes, glittery colors rather than, or even colors at all, rather than clear, just manicured hands is a little feminine. Or it's gonna be perceived as feminine, even if it's not inherently feminine. Do you want to do your next question?
No, I don't have a question. Do you have a
that was
question?
it? Oh, okay, yeah, no, I have more questions. Do you want to say something? We can take a little break.
No, I just wanted to fix it before you speak, so I didn't.
My next question is: do you feel that men are did I say that? Oh, I didn't even say what is feminism. Oh, are you a feminist? Are you a feminist?
Like, what would you explain a feminist? How would you explain it? Like, what do they do?
Well, I answer first, and then I can give you a definition.
Yeah.
You don't know what feminism is? Be nice. This is why he can't date the 18-year-olds. This is why.
All right. We'll matter of fact, after we finish this,
side topic we could put on the little bloopers of the thing.
Yeah, we'll talk about that after we get into this.
Well, you first. Are you a feminist?
Certain times, because I also feel like there's times where feminism goes too far.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I know what a feminist is, but like I can't tell you how describe if I am one if I don't really know what they do. Like, aren't they like they like fight for women rights and stuff?
Women.
All right, yeah. So I didn't know what it was.
Advocate for women.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't really say I'm a feminist. Not all know like I hate women stuff, but it's more just like I think, especially in the area I live, which they would technically call it is the hood. It's not. Women don't really. I don't know how to explain this. Like I'm just not a feminist because it's around, especially in my age group. I don't need to fight for pro women because they're. I really just don't know how to explain this. Like I'm gonna have to come back to me.
Okay, the definition of feminism is the advocacy of women's rights on the basis of the equality of the sexes, before we speak again, I'm going to let you know right now there are, like 4 waves of feminism. And in no certain terms, in a very colloquial way of speaking, in a very layman way of speaking, in a very, this is not the real definition, but I'm gonna say this is the definition. The first wave of feminism was, I want to say, suffrage. Women's right to vote.
Yeah.
Second wave of feminism, I want to say, was women's right to work. Third wave of feminism, I want to say, was women's right to exist without a man, so to speak. Maybe apply for a credit card, have their own house, stuff like don't fire me if I get pregnant. Fourth wave of feminism is, I personally, because I literally talk about this all the fucking time. Fourth wave of feminism is women's right to think, to share how they feel, to be seen as an equal to men. I don't want to say equal pay, because I feel like we've already kind of fought for equal pay. I don't feel like that's the biggest thing that the fourth wave of feminism is fighting for right now. So to me, when you say that you're not a feminist, what I hear is you don't know what feminism is. You don't have a real knowledge on the waves of feminism, and you're probably, for coming from the standpoint of a man, you don't really know like the freedoms that are actively being taken away from women today in 2023, rather than, I want to say, 2015, 2018, when like gay marriage was legalized and Roe v. Wade was nice and strong and all that good stuff. And we were talking about Ruth Bader Ginsburg being like the height of fucking feminism with Michelle Obama over there. So I guess with that knowledge now, would you say that you're a feminist?
Yeah. I still would say no, because I'm not actively standing up on the front lines fighting for feminism. But like, you see how we're having this conversation now about feminism. I'm more like pro for it. Like, yeah, like women should have equal pay. They should be able to, you know, as back then they weren't able to get their own credit card without a man, or they don't have to stay home and nurture for the kid. But if they want to, because, you know, it's kind of coming back now that women want to take like the first 2-3 years off to be with their kid, and now men are like, oh no, this, that, and the third. But it's not, where I'm coming from, where I'm saying like I'm not a feminist, it's not no negativity behind it. Because at the end of the day, regardless, man, woman, whatever you identify as, because now in 2023 there's a gender spectrum, we're all still people at the end of the day. You're going to go home to your parents or whoever you live with. You're going to go home to whoever you live with. I'm going to go home to whoever I live with. You're going to go home to whoever you live with. So it's really just about, I think it's more about just, instead of thinking about, oh, who has this, who has that, it's just coming together and just making something as a whole, instead of just talking about like, oh, I'm going to fight for, yeah, just, it's just not all about gender sometimes. It's about people, not gender, like how we are as people.
If you have anything.
I kind of got something to say about just what you said. I know that's your opinion and everything. However, let's shed a little light. So, to be an advocate, it's just standing up for someone who you believe would go a long way. Let's put in the example of, let's see, somebody close to you. Let's say like a really great female best friend or a sister, right? Let's say because of your religion or because of where you live, there are certain rules and limits that only apply to women. And let's say your sister, every day of her life, has to wear a hijab, right?
Mm-hmm.
She has to cover up how she looks in order to be married off one day. That her whole life is set up for her, right? And with that being known, if she was to take her hijab outside anywhere to be comfortable, even in her own home, she would be greatly disgraced and bullied, and possibly, if she was captured alone, they could even kill her.
Yeah, execute, yeah.
So just knowing that there are some limits to women, would you consider yourself an ally to support women and not to speak out for them, but
Be on their side.
yeah,
Yeah.
and to hear their voice and project it.
Definitely, and thank you, because just having this conversation here, it is a tough conversation for everybody to have, both sides of the genders, all genders. And I definitely, I'm trying to be
cover my
serious.
ass. Don't cancel me. Don't
Word,
cancel
bro,
me.
because I don't want to say both sides of the gender is like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm this.
Yeah.
I identify as a straight boy, so male. But definitely thank you for saying ally. That was definitely the word I was looking for, because to be honest, I'm only 15. I'm not going out here MLKing for women's
And
rights.
that's okay. You don't have to be. I feel like when I say feminist, you may hear me say like, "Are you going to the Women's Day parade?" You don't gotta go to the Women's Day parade. You know what I mean? But when you hear about Roe v. Wade being overturned, are you outraged? When you hear about abortion being absolutely not illegalized, but you know what I mean,
Basically is
demonized
illegalized.
in the southern states in the Bible Belt, are you feeling something? And hello, we're talking again in a bubble. Let's pop that for a second. Overseas, women do not have the same rights.
Yeah.
Malala, it was not that far removed in hate to say it, but in countries where it's more help me out here, secular. No, not secular. Secular is what we have, right? What's the other opposite of secular? Religious? Where it's more religious, women are most certainly demonized. I mean, even if you want to talk about first world problems, like women are catcalled on the streets all the time, and not just in a verbal harassment way, but in a physical harassment way.
Yeah.
Like, women cannot walk on the street once the sun goes down for fear of being raped, kidnapped, sold into sex slavery, assaulted. Did I say raped?
Yeah.
Raped?
Not
Like,
yet,
these are
but
the
that
fears.
can also happen on both sides. But I see what you're saying. It is more prominent to happen to women more than men.
Kidnapping y'all. I'm sorry.
No,
And-
that's
right, I don't
but
wanna-
it is
I
happening
wanna
on both sides, though.
right.
We can say, but
Right.
it is
It can
it's
happen
way more
anybody.
prominent on the
Little
women's
boys could
side.
get captured.
It could happen to
Yes,
anybody.
it can happen and see, the thing is about who's capturing men. They're not capturing men. They're actually capturing boys.
That's what I just said.
Oh yeah.
I said boys, yeah, but
Oh yeah. They don't. But yeah, it's
Cameras full. All right, let's go get another
damn.
fucking SD
Yeah.
card.
Damn. Let's